Hi, my name's Matt. This is a video post for psychopathology. First question is define psychopathology versus normal mental functioning. Um, Psychopathology is the study of mental health disorders. It's all around 360 degrees of a person who is dealing with mental disorders. That's biological, genetic, socio, social, and psychological. Uh, the normal mental functioning, as everyone does on a daily basis, the answer is what is the cultural norm? Functioning as everyone else does on a daily basis in the culture. Second question was what's the first step in helping someone who comes to you with mental health concerns? Um, Easiest answer is what's in the book, but really you're just going to ask them what's going on. And I would base my steps on the level of rapport I may or may not have with that person, how they're, how are they approaching the reality is that most people, including me, may not ask for help until things are so bad that it is affecting their life in a significant way. And either way, the person is going to approach you in a way that makes them feel the most comfortable. What are the key criteria to determine the presence of a mental disorder? Um, that's going to be your competency-based assessment. You're going to need to understand DSM-5, um, understand how the disorder is affecting the person and others. What purpose does making a diagnosis serve? Diagnosis gives the practitioner a more narrow scope on which to focus, but it does not excuse us as practitioners from reevaluating the client each time. We must remember the client is dealing with something, but the client does not become the diagnosis. Are there disadvantages to labeling or giving a diagnosis? For the client, a diagnosis can place a stigma. Being a retired soldier, I know this firsthand. Imagine going to your boss that you work directly under and telling them that you have a problem, but you don't know what is wrong. You just know that you are unable to do things in the same efficient way that you could before, and now you are unable to pretend that you can power through it and make everyone around you believe that they can rely on you. The stigma is real. So mind you, this is like my experience after doing 3 back-to-back Afghanistan deployments and near the end of my career, where my job was to supply up-to-the-minute information to help keep Green Berets and other special ops forces and myself alive. That's about 3 years straight of drama, keeping a family together, no real breaks, fearing injury or death, depression, anger, distrust, and functioning at a high rate of speed, so to speak. So scramble all that together and cram it in your head. It's like burnout times 10. I did have a break, later on, and I went from traveling at 100 to being forced to travel at 35 with everyone else every day, but still attempting to travel at 100 miles per hour among people who are traveling at 35. Eventually, you're going to realize, and everyone else will too, that something's off. So I unwillingly took that stigma on myself simply by saying I needed help. But at the same time, a diagnosis can be a freeing experience for some people. Was it a freeing experience for me? Not at first. I felt like a complete failure, broken, useless machine. And it took time talking and addressing a lot of things to come to a point to realize that I needed a life change. And my pastor told me, actually about a year after I began to study social work, he said, you have to give yourself permission to relax. That simple sentence blew me away. One sentence can make a difference. That person may have self-realization that will help in moving them along to succeeding in treatment. Do I care about stigma on myself now? No, not nearly as much now. So there are some disorders that are diagnosed in various ethnicities rather than less severe alternatives, be that depression versus schizophrenia. So as far as how do you as a social worker diagnose and become aware of your biases? I mean, the best thing you can do as a practitioner is to be unassuming. Don't make assumptions about the client. Treat everybody as if they're an individual.